with me. My phone doesn't understand my fingerprint for some reason. There we go. I'll bring up the YouTube chat because I couldn't seem to get anything out of the Restream chat, which collects all the chat from, or supposed to collect all the chat from all of the places I'm streaming to right now, which is Twitch, YouTube and Facebook. Yeah, I couldn't get it working on my phone. It works on the computer, but I don't have a screen at the moment to the side that I can use to not have to keep minimizing. You guys don't want to keep seeing me looking at chat, so. Okay, so we are live. What's the chat? Oh, that's cut me out. Okay, cool. Right, so what we're doing, you might have seen the description. Used to play this game before Euro Truck Simulator came out and had its like free roam open world aspect. This was more kind of just challenges, but essentially the same experience, driving a lorry, having it pretty well simulated and having emphasis on using the mirrors and looking around the cab and actually trying to mimic driving a truck for real sort of thing. At least the best a game can. Anyway, so these challenges would usually consist of, for instance, picking up a trailer and reversing it round a port and getting it round all the containers and to the place it needs to be for whatever reason. Or they had some dangerous roads, which I think they were based on real famous roads that are notoriously dangerous, like sort of in South America on the side of cliffs, but they're the only way to get from one town to another. So they have to use it commercially for like lorries and buses. And I think most of us have seen videos on YouTube of a bus trying to get around a really dodgy road and only just making it, and you just can't believe that they do that every day and that the roads stand up to it. Anyway, so yeah, things like this would require certain features that I would like to have in. I'm not sure would work so well with the BeamNG versions. For instance, damage penalties and speed limits was one thing I was considering. So I wanted to use the flowgraph and see if we can actually do anything with it to achieve these features. I have a fair idea of what I'd like to do. Let's have a look here. Oh, I shouldn't do that. Not on stream, don't bring up your personal chats. But I have a picture that I took of a piece of paper, which I actually put in my bag. It's not very busy at work at the moment, so we have these occasional stints of basically doing nothing and finding something to do. And I found a pad of paper and a pen and started writing stuff down, and it kind of looked like I was doing stuff. So that worked. But yeah, no, we do work when there's work to do. But yeah, I wrote down the sort of idea behind the logic I'm thinking of for this. I can't actually find it now. A second. Is it in my coat? I think so. No, that's something else. Anyway, let's forget that. So yeah, it's been a while since I've used the flowgraph, and it's it's been updated since. I think at least twice it's had a decent update to it. Not sure for not completely sure on that, but let's see if we can see any differences. So we press F11 to go to the editor, and we go to Tools. And this is where you can bring up all the extra boxes here, which give you access to stuff. Oh, before we continue, if you did watch my last stream, you saw that I was going from this new editor back to the old editor quite often to do most things, because I'd go into these tools here, which are your main tools. So, for instance, we were trying to use the terrain editor, which is one of these, I'm sure. Oh no, there's no terrain. Oh, it's that one. Sorry. But there's no like, okay, I want to pull or push or smooth or where are these buttons? But yeah, look at this. There they are. All the tools I could possibly want. Import terrain, everything we need. Yeah, so they are aware of this, and there will more than likely be a UI update or fix for this. There we go. So by default, there are quite a lot of things you have to do to this new editor to get it set up to kind of a usable way. But this is all work in progress, of course, so I'm sure there'll be updates and improvements along the way. So let's have a look at, oh yes, flowgraph editor, back on track. I'm going to close some of these because we won't need them. Oh, actually we will, no, keep forgetting the scene tree and the asset browser are now separate. So we don't need assets, we'll just need the scene tree to see what we have here. What we're going to need are triggers, which I think I need the asset browser for. So we'll need to put in a couple of triggers first, I think, if I can find them in this new menu. I'm not sure that's the right place now. It was before. There was an option in the asset browser for BeamNG kind of system stuff. You can have waypoints, spawn points, and all those kind of things, but I'm not sure that's related to small grid, so I think I need to look elsewhere for that. So yeah, this is all still a huge learning curve to me, but I am very keen to get stuck into this again. There's a chance you can make a trigger using the flowgraph editor. Actually, let's have a look. Where actually is it? There it is. So if anyone thinks the music or voice levels aren't quite right, please let me know. I think I got it right. Did a little bit of testing. Just make sure I'm not recording as well at the moment. No. Where has it come up? Did it come up? Oh, it's down here. It's because I've got this in the way, I think. So let's get rid of that. Come on, go away. Yeah, we've still got a bit of an issue here with the with the scrolling bars. Excuse me as I hit puberty again. Like sometimes it shows them, sometimes it doesn't, but the fact that it shows it sometimes and then it goes away makes you think, oh, it's not on there now, even though anywhere sort of in these 5 or so pixels it'll work. So don't let that trip you over too much. It definitely got me quite a bit. Let's see, hopefully, yeah, we can spawn a trigger in from here. So what do we need? Main. So we need to get the initial ticker, which is the thing that starts the flow, which I think it's on something. Like I say, it's been a while. Actually, we could go into the demos quickly and refresh ourselves. I think we can just open. Let's put the gravity demo on. There we go. So if you haven't seen this before, this is the flowgraph editor, and this is the this is something they developed, I presume, to help people who can't write code like Lua, which I definitely can't write Lua. I'm not too bad with JSON files from using BeamNG. I still can't really write them from scratch. I don't know all the rules, but this is basically to cut out the difficulty of learning 5 or 6 years worth of programming and trying to make it sort of make sense and allow people to make what they want a lot more easily. I know that their mission is to get this to be totally usable. So each update hopefully is going to enable that more and more. Okay, so on update, that was it. So, how have they done it? So in this scenario, the gravity demo, there you might have seen it on grid map. There are 3 zones. I think it's 3. How many is there? 4 zones. And as you drive into the zone, it will change the gravity to whichever planet it says in the kind of hovering text by the trigger. And this is the basis I used for the pace notes mod, because what basically this is giving you the template for it is when a car hits this trigger, and then you just do what you want to do. So this is like a great starting point if you want to have triggers that you collide with and have actions happen because of those. So I think, can we spawn a second or make a second project open here? Probably for a hissy fit. Let's say new project. Oh no, it's going to overwrite main, unless there's an option that's not quite finished being developed yet, or I'm not doing it right. There's so many buttons here I haven't used before. Okay, so let's try this on update. Let's whack he in there, and Probably should just copied and pasted over one of the branches. Let's do that. Let's see, well, if it works. What's this one about? I think this is... These nodes calculate a fixed offset from a center position. It's to do with this marker. Oh, I think that's to do with the text. So we don't actually need that. We just need custom trigger. And then... Right, okay. Step by step, we'll get this. Yeah, wish you could have more than one open, but then they might conflict with each other. Although they only run when you press play. They only affect the gameplay experience once they're actually running. Hey, that guy. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm completely not sure what I'm doing here, but well, I have an idea of what I'm aiming for. In fact, sod it. Let's have a look at what I wrote down. Don't click that. Oh, where did I put it? Hang on, let me just get it up without exposing anyone's messages, because it's probably worth a read. Let's just go to the intro screen. Please hold. Where is it? There it is. So let's save that. Okay. Don't need that, don't need that. Let's save some memory here. Right, getting organised slowly. Where did I put it? Okay, so excuse my horrific handwriting, but basically what we want to achieve here is I want there to be a speed limit and I want there to be collision detection. Way I thought we could sort of arrange this is to have a base score for completing the scenario, say 100. You get $100 if you finish this, but for speed limit infringements, you will be penalised from that and also from hitting stuff, the collision detection. Excuse me. So what I've written here is if the player's within or inside completely of the trigger, because I think there's three options: there's entering, leaving, and within at that time. And yeah, if the player's within, then activate the speed limit condition, which will be a separate flow, which is only active when this is true. And in this, it will say, it says constant check of the player speed, so we'll need something constantly reading that, and if it's greater than whatever we set it to, X, oh, my throat's going, activate the speeding condition, so then we'll have another flow going on, so it'll be two stacked up, and the speeding penalty condition, so every half second minus a set penalty amount from the score, and then if the player speed is less than or equal to the speed limit, then deactivate the penalty condition. That's pretty simple, sort of two-step, but very simple stuff. This one I've kind of thought ahead of an issue that could happen. So the collision detection, if the player enters a zone, activate the collision event condition, and also deactivate all the triggers that are there for collisions. And I'll explain why in a minute. So once the collision event started, minus a set amount from the score, and if the player isn't still inside a collision trigger, reactivate the collision triggers, deactivate the collision event. So that happens almost, well, it does, happens instantaneously, and what I think that will do, having the deactivate collision triggers as the collision event starts, is stop it. For instance, if you were leaning against a wall that has a trigger there, and you didn't just bounce off it, then you would just spam the penalty, and it, as fast as your frame rate would minus your score to like 1,000,000 or something, or minus 1,000,000. So that's my theory. I've used this kind of logical sort of content creation, I guess you could say, in the past, and I've learned certain things like that. I think it was the Games Factory I used to use and Multimedia Fusion, by Click Team. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. We used to make some cool games with that, like 2D side scrollers and top-down racing games. And it's quite a lot of fun. Lots of drawing though. Oh my god, the art was so hardcore. Anyway, let's try and put some of that into practice. So we put our on update in there, and then it's custom trigger, and we'll link that up. So when we start, this on update pumps out a pulse, and it goes down the line to the first thing, and then depending on the conditions of that thing, we'll pump out to other lines here. We can say basically this. Let's stop it a sec. Stop. Yeah. Okay. Basically, this box basically it's representing the trigger itself in the game. Let's see if we can. Oh, we have to tell it where to be. So we've got ins and we've got outs. So ins are telling it stuff, obviously, and outs are getting what it's figured out to other things. So what we have the option to do here is add a position rotation or scale, and actually assign it to only be affected by a certain vehicle. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell it a position, and probably scale as well, because we'll need to actually in practice make them fit areas of road, and probably have to make several. But the reason I don't want to do it on the roads and have like a whole town is because it would just be a monster job. I mean, I'd do it if I had to, or really felt like I wanted to, but doing like a port or like a sawmill or some sort of parking area that large and complicated, I think would be, you know, an achievable task for one person, and also pretty awesome if it worked. I'd really like to play it myself. So let's see. We need to actually put in a transform node, which means basically where it is, what it is, and how it is, which will feed us all three of those things. Transform. There we go. And we click that, and we've got all the options for it here. So if we say 0 for everything. Oh, hang on. What? Oh. Okay. Is this the... or is it here? Output pins. Yeah. Position. Oh, I have to double click, sorry. Okay, so scale 111, that means we should see a trigger there. I think we do. Yeah. There it is, and it will change it live there for us as we move it in the editor, which is great. So what we want to do is scale it up. Let's press 3 for scale. Oh wait. Oh, hang on. Oh. Why isn't it scaling for us? Well, it's not visually scaling. I think actually there's actually an option to turn on how to turn on the option to show you how big you're scaling it to, rather than just where the point is. Let's see, where have we put it? Spawn vehicles. Let's shift this out of the way. Oh. Oh, it doesn't want to. Oh, it's the ground pane. Oh dear, we're not doing too well here, are we? Let's see. So it's not going to show up the flowgraph objects in the normal scene tree. Okay. It does have an option for scale though. Oh, it does help if you connect them up. But scale though. Oh, that is showing the scale. There's the three arms there. I guess that's giving us our scale. It's not particularly representative of the true size though, is it? I'd like to see a big box. I'm sure there was a way to do that. Again, this is all very experimental and new to me. I did the pace notes mod a long time ago and that was a very simple process, just long-winded. Okay, so let's try that for starters. And we'll have it so big, so long. Yeah, because you can see how long it is one way but not the other. Okay, let's centralize it in this sort of part of the grid. So it's that width, that way, back from where we're facing. So it's enter or inside that we want. But yeah, it's kind of at this point I'm unsure what I would use. I'm sure it's very simple, but I'm just not experienced with what everything does. So I guess the best thing to do would be to save it and look at another one. Testing, as Bart Simpson would say. Oh, that's the folder. Okay. Speed trap. That should give us something similar. Okay, so right, so yeah, this is basically saying this is where it starts, and we also provide a transform and the ID for the player. So it's kind of like your get-go bits, your initial stuff. Marker and trigger. These nodes create a black marker and a custom trigger at the position of the radar track. When the player enters the trigger, we will check their velocity. So single marker is actually there to show something. That's what we need, isn't it? Okay, yeah, so there's a few more bits we need to put in. Let's take a screenshot of this actually. Oh yes, vehicle data, we're going to need that. Let's go alt print screen and then we'll take a snap. Yeah, so we can just look back if we need to, that's going to be helpful. Go back. Okay. So we'll put in a single marker. I think they both need to be fed from those two. Actually, I'm pretty sure single marker is to show... Oh, let's just try it. So we'll delete that sticky through there. Oops. How is it done with scale? Oh, it's not. Oh, because it's a speed trap. It's like drive to this point. It's not an encompassing area. Okay. One moment, please. Sorry about that. Anyway, where were we? Yes, it's often quite busy here in the evenings on a weekday. Okay, where were we? Let's go from here. We need to... Oh, sorry, I'm getting my head kerfuffled now of what just happened. Again, we're just experimenting. This isn't meant to be an informative stream. I just fancy talking this time rather than just sort of blanking you guys. I suppose we're going to have to put the player in as a vehicle ID. That's the player. Is the name of our car. So now it knows which car should be activating it if we have multiple vehicles, which we will do in the end because there will be a trailer as well, which is technically its own vehicle, and we wouldn't want it to be double triggering stuff, although in fact we do want it to, because it's a collision anywhere on the vehicle. So, let's look. I keep getting distracted by people, sorry. Just thinking a moment. Scale, of course, you can just type it in here. Somehow, there we go. Locked to, we'll say, we want to scale it by axes really. See, now we're just copying that, we don't necessarily need that. Oh, goodness sake. Sorry if I'm thinking out loud and not making much sense, but this is literally a complete learning process for me now. We want the scale that we've set. We want it that wide. Don't even need it that high. It needs to just be so we can drive through it like a trough. Okay, so we're getting there. Let's run it and see what it does. Ah, we got the marker there. Okay. So marker basically means waypoint, like a waypoint in a scenario. Okay, so let's see what else they've got going on here. We've done that, done that, done that. Okay, let's grab a vehicle data. Oh, we need to think about how we're going to make these loops. Okay, I think we're going to save it and go back to the demo and move it around, take another screenshot. Yeah, it doesn't look like, well, I don't think that any of these have, like, well, they probably have, I haven't looked through all of them. Excuse me. Okay. No more interruptions, I hope. Sorry, lots are going on at the moment, but I couldn't help myself but share this. Did it load? Did I load it? Try again. No, it was a speed trap. Okay, let's see what this one says first. After getting the player's velocity, we multiply it by 3.6 to get meters per second to from meters per second to kilometers an hour. We also subtract the remainders after the decimal point to get an integer, to get an integer number. Sorry. Now we compare it to the target speed and display a suiting message. So how did you get the speed? Oh, this is getting the speed. After getting the speed, it da-da-da. So velocity in vehicle data. And a comparison to say what x is, or in this case b. Oh yeah, screenshot. Yeah, that's just a screenshot. There was a big jump there. I want to go in smoothly. Is there another button for zoom? No. Anyway, that's good enough. So let's go back to our project. So vehicle data. So vehicle ID we want to carry across and enter an inside. It does work, okay. And we will want to take the velocity and compare it to is that the right screenshot? Yeah. Not a very good one, I must say. It's only got half the bloody screen. What's going on there? There we are. It's a bit better. This is a good tune. So the expression, so velocity A. Yeah, he's converting that to kilometers an hour, so we need to do that first. So this is basically a node where you can feed in a number, give a calculation, and edit that number, and then chuck it back out like a filter or something. Don't want that. Oops. What's this? Delete. So I don't know for certain if having both these hooked up is going to be the right thing for us, but it's okay. We'll try it. If it's obsolete, why is it still in there? I don't know. Oh, sorry. Someone's asking what I'm trying to do. We're trying to make zones that prevent you from speeding, basically, or you have penalty points given to your scenario score. I'm not even sure if yet the flowgraph editor is properly hooked up to scenarios, so that it can give a modified score to the end screen. But we're going to try. So we'll use this equation. Hopefully I can replicate it. Just copy it outright, otherwise. Yeah, you do have to just type it. So, what was it? 3.6. Oh, 8. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm not that good at math. Oh, I did that wrong as well. Double brackets. Close. Minus those against. Was it A? Was it the same again? A times, it's just the other way around. Okay, A times 3.6. Close brackets twice, is it? No, and then percentage sign 1. Quite sure what that's doing, but We're going to go with it. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so go through there to there. Oh, it's saying the vehicle, that vehicle's the one the one that this vehicle data node represents. Then we want to get, hang on a second, have I done that right? Oh, I bet you're all screaming at the screen. It's meant to go over here, not, it's meant to go a node back. I did think that was a little bit strange. So let's just hook that up to there. Oh, I went the wrong way. Oh, goodness me. Yeah, it's here. So this vehicle data, take that number for the velocity and do the equation to turn it into kilometers an hour. And then link it to A. Oh, and B is the number of the speed limit. So we're feeding A into, feeding our speed into A, and then it's going to compare to B, which is going to be the speed limit. And if it's true or false, we can then tell it to do the next part. God, this is good. This is really good. I mean, it's already, you know, you can work it out. It's not drastically difficult. You've just got to kind of know where to go to get to things, I guess. But if you've used similar things in the past, so we'll click the lock there. And this basically is telling it either to be fed a value, or if you put the lock on it, it locks it and only sets it to what you tell it to. So we're going to put our speed limit of say 15 kilometers an hour, just so we can easily achieve it. I don't normally use kilometers an hour, but because this is set to kilometers an hour, we're just going to suck it up for this one. Okay, so let's save and have another look at the other one, the gravity demo, oh no, the speed trap demo. So at this point it's going to be us, because all this does is show you a message to say whether you've got through the speed trap fast enough or not. Okay, so this is a separate trigger. This is a surrounding trigger. Ooh, scale 100. So yeah, this is a zone, like an area trigger. Here we create a trigger at the same position but with a much bigger radius. This allows us to display the info text above the radar trap only when the player is actually near the trap. So this is the sort of thing we need as well. Well, the sort of thing would be very useful. So in here we get the player's velocity as kilometers an hour again, and display it 2 meters above the radar trap. Okay, so that's cool, but I mean, we could put it in. Let's just rob it, just for now, because we're just testing. The bottommost calculation gets us a nice color gradient. The first expression converts kilometers an hour velocity from the range of 150 to 200 to the value of between 0 and 1. The easing node then makes it so that the value does not rise linearly, but it's steep at the end, but very steep at the end. That way the color will change stronger the closer you are. Okay, so it gives it kind of a steep ramp up when you get close, and it's just like, oh, you're nearly there, and then boom, it's green, you've gone fast enough. The last node converts our 0 to 1 range to a 0 to 0.3 range. 0 is red and 0.33 is green in HSV color space. Ah, okay, so that's cool. So you're basically translating the number of the speed to a number that you can use in a color map sort of thing. Palette? What's it called? It says it right here, color space. We'll go with that. Now, can we copy and paste between projects? We can. That's nice. So we're just going to bootleg that and hook up the same bizzo, same position. Give it the go. And what that's going to do is show us our speed, I think. So let's come out of the editor. And it does. How cool is that? But the color gradient thing's not going to work, so we've changed the speed. I think that's not going to be as good. But yeah, it pops up when we get close. And it's not going to give us a message because we've got rid of that. But yeah, that's all it's going to do for now, I think. Did it move? Because why did it move? No, it didn't. It's just the way that the way that it follows you to make it look like it's always an open gate. So much better than the rings. The rings, you just can see where you're going. Okay. Right. Considering the circumstances, and it's after work, I'm probably going to go back to the HighDef Headquaters map now and do a little bit more work there. So I'm totally out of my comfort zone doing this sort of thing, but I think we've achieved a little bit, even though if we did just copy it. But that's the best thing to do with BeamNG when you're learning. When you're trying to get into modding, oh, we've got an error there, I'm not going to try and diagnose that. When you're learning, the best thing you can do is just copy what they've done. Look through all the content folders, look how they've built stuff, copy it into the My Documents BeamNG folder and just play with it. Just edit things, change values. Be careful with brackets and commas and stuff. You can always use a JSON verifying website where you just copy in the whole code, paste it in there, and it will tell you any errors that you need to fix, which is very useful. I'll show you actually, it's somewhere. Yeah. Bleejo told me about this and it's so helpful. JSONlint.com. You just paste it in here and it shows it all the errors, goes through it, every single one with you, and tells you, it sort of tells you in machine code what's wrong, but it's kind of usually easy to work out. Okay, so let's go back out and go into our new level. That's the wrong button. You know when you're like really up for something and you get to it and you come to it and you're just like, oh my god, why did I decide to do this tonight after a really hard day's work? I love being with you guys and I love streaming and stuff, but yeah, I can talk a bit better when I'm not so knackered. Okay, so if you didn't catch the last stream, this is the new HighDef Headquaters map, very early in production, and we were focusing on this area over here last time. We need to fix some textures. Yeah, I made my own texture and it doesn't like to save, so I wanted it to be like a base backing for these roads, and I've made it so it looks like forest around all sort of dirty leaves, but it actually behaves like asphalt, so that underneath the decal road it's all asphalt, but on the outside it kind of looks like it's the edges of the road. The decal road makes it look like asphalt and it behaves like asphalt, but technically the texture is, it looks like grass and leaves, but it doesn't like to save. I suppose we'll have a little drive round first and show you what I did if you didn't see it. So we put in, first thing was an airstrip. What on earth is going on there? No, I need to delete that at some point. Yeah, we put it in the sort of landing strip, sort of first go at it, and then we just go above. I just wanted to put a kind of little towny area here, more like a kind of shanty port or something. And the idea is that all over there is going to be all different kinds of racetracks, rally courses, like jumps and crazy shit. Excuse me. Basically testing for all sorts of different cars. But yeah, let's just go for a little cruise just to start with. So the way I've done these roads is by using mesh roads to lay along the floor, sort of fit them down, and then use the terrain fill tool to just basically make the terrain exactly where the roads are. Then you can remove the roads and use the terrain. Works quite well, but it's a bit of a faff to do the edges and stuff. As you can see, it's not quite right there. What have we got? Let's go for one of them. Doesn't matter. So yeah, I was hoping this road, intending this road to go underneath the airstrip, actually build a tunnel underneath, and do on the other end as well. Or go around the beach, I think the other end does. I'll show you. So we've got the right turn there. Need to faff with that gradient quite a bit. That's the trouble with joining roads that aren't level. They can be quite time consuming to get feeling right. Definitely need to work on the edges of this. But as you can see, we've got quite a flat level road. Works really well, the method I used. But the after touches can be quite finicky. Yeah, we definitely need to sort this texture problem out. Yeah, I'm quite happy with the way the roads sort of sit, apart from the edges, of course. Yeah, I'm not sure the roads are going to be this wide, but it'll be fun for drifting on. Oh dear. Yeah, definitely need to do a few more passes on these road surfaces, that's for sure. So yeah, it comes down and around here. And then sort of stops here, and that's the end of the runway there, up there. Rounding. Whack. Whack. Yeah. Oops. Oh, poor rear diff. Yeah, that was the wrong button again. Oh, for God's sake. I just want to drive down this boring straight bit of road. That's what everyone's here to see. Still going to do it. Yeah, I need to lower those edges. I thought I had done that last time actually, but we shall see. Now at least we can use this, the one new editor rather than going back and forth. That may have had a detrimental effect. I'm not sure. Should be okay. It'll be fine. Okay, enough silly buggers. Let's do some work. Hey Wackaran, or should I say, Mr. Lie. So first things first, let's fix this rubbish. Let's give it a side material, not bottom. Yeah, that'll do. Terrain tools, now we can see them. Oh, it's got the new smooth. Not that it does anything on the flat, but we do need to raise very slightly these edges. Let's turn the pressure down. Oh, got a slider, nice. Doesn't matter if we go a little bit too high, because we can just use the align with mesh tools to push it back down. We definitely don't want this great big ledge. You don't want that decal road there either. Let's just get rid of that quickly. Which one is it then? How did that? Surely I've moved that from somewhere, because that looks like I put time into it, but why the hell would I put that there? Oh, it's a copy of that. I remember I copied road to see if it was possible. That's right. I was going to start doing layers, so one layer of sort of concrete, one layer with lines, one layer with like all sorts of bits on it. Oh my god. Oh, sugar. Sorry, I've just had a terrible message or some terrible news. This is oh dear. Okay, onwards. Yeah, excuse me a moment. I'm probably going to carry on without the mic for a little bit, but I will be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, I'm back. Excuse me about that. Let's make this runway level, since it's not. Oh, is it frozen? Oh, it's crashing. Oh, I haven't saved it. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, guys and girls, that's going to be it today. Oh, goodness. Didn't go particularly well, but we got some progress done, so... yeah. Not on the map, because that won't have saved, I don't think. Hey-ho. We only did a little bit, so it's all good. Yeah, I will try and get on at the weekend and do a proper stream. Thought I'd give it a go, but yeah, probably not the best idea to do it on after work on a weeknight. But hey ho, if you got something from this, I'm glad. And yeah, if you want to see more, stay tuned. But yeah, have a nice week, guys.